For the past 25 years, the San Diego Police Department's relationship with the San Diego Police Foundation has been invaluable. Never more so than today. With so much of our lives on social media, the internet, that face-to-face human interaction is diminished greatly. The foundation really brings the opportunity for donors and citizens and others that are interested in a safe public to interact with the police department, the Canine unit especially, on a very personal level.
You know, I can't say enough about the partnership, the moral support. Going to the events and seeing all the people there that are supporting the police department, that is one of the biggest things that I don't think people understand when we come out of those different events with the Police Foundation, of that sense of belonging, that sense of feeling supported that we don't always get in the street every single day.
These officers work in the community, and if what we want is a higher level of policing, that comes with a price tag that we can't always afford to give. Thankfully, these generous donors that have been with us for our 25 years of our partnership, they see that. And they're willing to put the dollars, and they're willing to support conferences. And that's really kind of the power of the foundation and the power of the people who participate. And I know many of them have been there from the start.
The foundation has been a godsend. It really helps bridge the gap over where we fall short with the city funds and so forth. And it's things that the city could give us later, but the foundation can help us get it now. The foundation means a lot to me because I know how much it helps. And having been on 34 years, I've seen how they've really bridged the gap in times where we needed things with canines and all of our vehicles and our trauma plates lately, breaching kits so we can get in if somebody has a medical aid need. Recently, the TrueNarc machines that the foundation purchased gives us the opportunity to evaluate what kind of drug or substance it is in a plastic baggie without exposing the officer to the contents of it. And it's been so effective that the district attorney, who does a lot of prosecutions, mandates that we use that before prosecution.
The foundation, for me, I can say specifically, has been a huge help. My other responsibility at the Academy is the First Aid CPR program, and the foundation has been great. I've submitted several grants from needing mannequins, to needing AEDs, to needing bag valve resuscitators. They've been an awesome tool. We recently just got them deployed out to all our patrol officers.
Our ballistic shields, our ballistic vests, our clotting agent, our tourniquets. There's so many cases that we use this equipment in that our officers probably wouldn't feel comfortable going into harm's way without that extra layer of protection. And it really is because of the Police Foundation and their generous donations.
I can see him keying his mic saying he needs a shield.
Here's your shield.
The shield absolutely saved our life.
So every dog that we have bought, it's actually the San Diego Police Foundation that has bought our dogs. They've supported us through, whether it be through training, dog selections, or dog procurement, and all of our endeavors for about 20 years now.
We wouldn't have those vests that we can put on dogs to keep them from getting stabbed by suspects if it wasn't from the foundation. Trauma kits, equipment, training.
If we were to compare the unit, what it is now compared to 15 years ago, obviously it's bigger. Gun detection dogs. Now we have a special response canine that deploys with our full-time SWAT team. We have more components within our canine unit that these handlers are doing on the day-to-day.
Over my past 22 years in law enforcement, I've seen a dramatic change. We're dealing with more homelessness, we're dealing with more mental illness and drug addiction and a more permissive environment through policies that have been implemented in California. And law enforcement has been tasked without much in terms of more resources and training to address these more dynamic problems that I didn't have to deal with as a patrol officer. And our canine units are a huge part of de-escalating situations that the public expects to be resolved without violence, without officers using force. And what the foundation really does is help to shed light on how complex that process is for police officers and for our canine officers. They get to interact and, for example, spend a day with canine or spend a day with SWAT or go on a ride along. All through the Police Foundation, they get to see firsthand how dynamic and complex these issues are for the police department.
It's been super powerful that the foundation has been so strong in its support for the officers, and the officers feel that. A lot of the events that have been put on, a lot of the money raising, the canine soirees and so forth have really been positive for the police department in a time of need.
think anytime that you can bring women to the conference and they get to see somebody like a Chief Albrechtston or some of the detectives actually talking their stories, it's like, hey, that can be me one day.
The importance of women in law enforcement, and really where the foundation has kind of filled in the gap, is, you know, obviously we make such a small percentage of the overall total. And so there wasn't a lot of role modeling and leadership positions as I was coming through my career. And when you see the female role models in San Diego PD and you see events like Women in Blue, having the event alone is such an anomaly across the country. Across the world, there's not these kinds of events happening. And so just having the event says, we support you, we see you, we stand by you, and we develop you into being the next leader.
There's so many different things you can do, whether you want to specialize as a detective, want to climb the ranks, you want to fly a helicopter, work with a canine, drive a boat, whatever you want to do, you can do it here, and you can do it as a woman.
I was part of Inside San Diego PD for 3 years, and during that time, we had a chance to really get involved with the community, and we talked about building a bridge between law enforcement and the community, and that was a prime example. It is a prime example of how we do that, because inside San Diego, it offers people a chance to be a police officer for a day.
We'll have all of our toys set up, basically. They get a chance to come out and see the officers, talk to them. They get a chance to jump in vehicles and touch things, ask questions, get questions answered, and that has been a huge help for us.
I'm working with the foundation to actually do an Inside San Diego with the LGBT+ community to help people really understand why we do what we do. My best friend that was a teacher growing up is probably going, you said you're never going to be a teacher, and here I am being an educator, but it's something I enjoy.
I've gotten to know so many folks that I probably would have never met without the foundation that I call friends today. And those relationships to me are just vital.
I'd like to thank the foundation. Everything that they do for us, it just makes our life that much easier knowing that we have the support. It just goes a long way.
I just appreciate the support. I want them to know their support means the most to us.
Thank you for being there for us. Thank you for helping the San Diego Police Department as well as the community help us get equipment, help us educate them, and just create really good relationships and long-lasting relationships. I know I can speak for the department that we are very thankful to have such a great community that supports us.
That all comes from the donations that are coordinated through the foundation. And without the foundation, I don't know what we'd do.
Thank you so much.
For me, I just want to say thank you for being part of the team.